Hello, everyone. I am Elsa M'bala. I am an artist, sound artist from Cameroon. I grew up in Germany. Um, I came here when I was 10, and then I lived in a lot of places. I lived in the US, I lived in Jamaica, I lived in Spain. I guess the world has always been a big inspiration for me, and I I think at 16, I teach myself the guitar. That's how I kind of stepped into the musical world. I started writing poetry and performed them when I went to college, to university, I think, yeah. And then I moved back to Cameroon. I was also in search of my roots and my identity that has always been a big part of my journey as an artist, understanding who I am and where I fit in. And it's only as I got back to Cameroon where I left when I was 10. So I went back in 2012 to 2017, 16, 17. And I spent some intense changes. I went through intense changes in my life, personally, but also on an artistic level. I left the guitar when I get to Cameroon. I just realized that the guitar was too quiet because I was playing acoustic guitar, and I delved into field recordings because I felt like I was connecting with. I was trying to connect with whatever I was encountering at the moment. And if you ever been to Africa, you know that Africa is very loud. There's no other way to put it. It's just very loud. The people are loud, but also just nature. Also, it's loud, colorful, and so that was my way. I started recording every type of noises that I find interesting, or conversation, which I loved, like recording people without them knowing. Uh, when they were talking about things that I found interesting, I would just record them secretly and then go home and work on the recording and transform those recording into musical pieces. That's how I got into electronic. Basically, I started recording and just tweaking and figuring out how to make certain things even more interesting. And as I came back to Germany, I discovered there's a whole field with that. Basically, there's like new music. It's a thing. I didn't know back then, to be honest. I didn't know. So I was very happy, basically, because it was a community that was basically waiting for an approach like mine, um, a contemporary musical approach to Africa is very rare. Um, there are a lot of recordings from the UNESCO that I use now also in my samples, but that is basically it in terms of like recordings of tradition when it comes to Africa. And as you may know, Africa is is a storytelling culture. So a lot of knowledge is being shared via stories, via elders talking. And it was very much an attempt for me to reconnect to that part of Africa and to myself ultimately. Um, and I feel like it just got me close as I am on this path now. I just feel more close to myself. I just enjoy sampling and having those voices from back then with me on stage. And I play alone, so it's always very enriching to have that. It feels like I have a community behind me, like I have my ancestors with me while I'm playing, and it just feels like I have this power that comes from nowhere, um, carrying me through my artistic endeavor. Um, As far as this piece that was commissioned by Midori Samson, I'm very, very happy she contacted me because I've been thinking about alternative way of musical notations because the classical way to write down music doesn't incorporate a lot of non-Western musical styles. It rips it apart. Once you have to put it in there, it's just so for me. It was very important to. This is my first attempt to delve into a way that feels more freeing. Um, to be able to notate and to explore music because I see music as an exploration. It's not something defined. And even though it is written down, it's the person behind the work that actually make the work what it is. Like, and that's what I like about this collaboration. It's the fact that I didn't know her work, she didn't really know who I was, and we got together, and trust was a big part of it. She trusted me, I trusted her, and yeah, and I managed to create a musical score, a graphic score that feels genuine to me and to also my way of working with sound because I see everything for me, it's music, all sounds are musical. So I like to say that I'm a sound artist also because of that, even though I play a lot of different instruments. So yeah, so this piece was definitely a way also to map down my own process. Um, how do I approach music or even a piece, a composition? How do I approach it? And what was very important was also to not criticize myself or even judge. I think judge myself in the process um, because it was very important that it came from a place of joy, really important, and but also from a place of freedom, because if music is one thing, it's definitely freedom. Yeah. Yeah, and I hope you like it. I really, really hope you enjoy the piece. And I listened to all the piece that Midori did with the African artist, and I feel so honored, really, that she reached out to me. And she also being a female composer, I feel like this is also something that I feel very proud, even if I may say that, to be able to collaborate with her on this, and yeah, and to enter this new legacy also, because this is a new project. It's just starting with her, but it's definitely something that I'm going to continue doing. And to be able to do that with this project with her, I feel very, very proud and very happy. And yeah, and I really, really hope that you get touched by this piece. Bye.